Greetings, denizens of the internet! You can call me Nitro Indigo, and welcome to the 13th riveting episode of Do Judge a Game by its Cover! Today, for the first time in this series, I have a guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I certainly would. Hello, everyone. I am Tessellating Hexagons, and I hope that my appearing in episode 13 isn't some sort of bad omen. Now, on to the judgment!
Spore's box art is absolutely gorgeous. It's packed with details that hint at everything in the game, topped off with a rounded font and glossy finish to give it a wondrous sci-fi vibe. Also, that alien on the left looks like a stretched out Mike Wazowski, and that blue one on the bottom right looks like Scrat.
I have mixed feelings about the box art for Clone Wars Fantasy Reverie series. On one hand, it's nice to see really balanced representation of both of the remastered games, to the extent that Clone Wars 2 Clone Wars is overlaid on top of the section that resembles the first level of the first game, while Clone Wars 1 Clone Wars is closer to a level from, about halfway through the second game? And each one is holding up the same number of fingers as the installment of the series that they represent. By the way, what is that hot air balloon supposed to represent? I don't remember that being in either game.
Oh my gosh, I never noticed that detail with the fingers. Nice catch! I first discovered Tess from his Let's Play of Daughter Phantomile, so I associate him with Clonoa.
Much as I'm a fan of the Microsoft Word Art rainbow gradient aesthetic, I think the PAL region's take on the box art for Gex 3 Deep Cover Gecko is a bit of a letdown compared to its NTSC counterpart. True, our version uses a render of Gex that makes it a bit clearer that he's a secret agent, but there's alpha channel artifacting around the image of Agent Extra, and the American box art just looks much more dynamic on the whole. Not to mention, the US logo actually highlights that the game is a threequel instead of leaving it to the audience to guess where this one fits in the series.
Can you spot the differences between Temtem's Steam poster and physical box art? There's a few, but the most obvious one is the addition of Platypet. If YouTube comments are anything to go by, it's the most popular design, so I'm guessing they put it front and centre because it's recognisable.
Far be it from me to double dip on a box art that Indigo has talked about before, but I don't have a huge amount to say about the Japanese box art for Spyro Season of Ice, or, I beg your pardon, Spyro Advance, but the character designs are so darn cute! I get the impression that most, if not all, of the cast are characterized completely differently in Japanese compared to English, which I guess means the box art has done a fantastic job in priming my expectations.
Speaking of GBA Spyro games, the European box art for Season of Flame is just boring. Gone is the juxtaposed fire and ice, which not only looks cool but also relates to the game's plot, replaced with a generic close-up of Spyro. So generic, in fact, that it looks very similar to the Worst Game Ever 2K2's box art, so someone at the marketing department must have thought this was what Europeans wanted. Also, the logo looks like it's made of ketchup.
I never noticed that before and now I can't unsee it. 2002 really was a rough year for Spyro, huh?
And finally, it's tradition for me to end these videos with Pokemon games, and Tess brought this to my attention. You might have seen the external box art for Typing Adventure with the keyboard, but you might not have seen the internal box art that contains the actual cartridge, and it's boring. The background looks like bathroom tile, and the dark blue part of the Pokeball at the back sticks out like a sore thumb. It looks like it was half-heartedly slapped together in a few minutes.
While I do think that it's a nice detail that the Pokeball's two colours happen to also be Reshiram and Zekrom's secondary colours, you know, the colours their glowing parts glow when they're powered up, but if that was an intentional choice, they're paired up the wrong way around, with Reshiram next to Zekrom's electric blue and Zekrom next to Reshiram's fiery red-orange. Overall, I think it's the lack of shading on any of the art that does the most damage here for me. At least on the outer box, that's offset by the relative visual noise of the overall image composition, but I digress.
That's all for this video. Do you have anything to say, Tess?
Only that it's been a pleasure and a fun time, and that it would feel uncouth for me to plug my own channel out loud here and now, but I presume there'll be links of some kind in the video description and or end screen of this video. So, I have been and will continue to be Tessellating Hexagons, and
until next time, stay interesting!